Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of Piano Auctions .co.uk, which is a specialist piano and keyboard auction house based in the UK, quite possibly the largest, if not the only, specialist piano auction house in the world. That I'm not 100% sure of, but so don't quote me on it, but it's quite possible. We've looked at this auction house a few times before. It's always quite interesting. This is their latest auction, which is due to finish on the 28th of June. The buyer's premium is 20%, so you pay that on top of the hammer price. As I said, this is a UK based auction, so it's probably highly unlikely that you're going to purchase something and have it shipped abroad. But then again, maybe if it's a historical keyboard or something really interesting piano, then maybe you will. So check all the terms and conditions as always. Looks like there's a fair old amount of lots in this auction, 130 or so. I actually tried to do this auction before and there were so many instruments which had pictures missing, I just kind of gave up. So we've gone back at it again, so some of them I have seen before, and yeah, that's pretty much it really. Let's kind of crack on and see what we've got. We'll just kind of blitz through it. I'm not an expert on keyboards at all, but slowly kind of getting there as much as I can. So lot one is a Weinbach by Petrov, circa 1990, a grand piano. 1500 to 2000 is the estimate. I think it's saying with the extra fees 24% buyer's premium with the tax and stuff like that. If it's something not super interesting, we'll just look at this main kind of picture. So we've got a Steinway upright from 1894, estimates 1200 to 1500. Got a Bechstein grand from 1927, 2 to 3000. Looks like it must have been refinished or something like that. Possibly not, I don't know, it doesn't quite say. But and they're talking about ivory here as well. It certainly looks like it's kind of potentially been refinished, but interesting nevertheless. A Weinbach grand from 1997, estimate 1500 to 2000. A Schroeder upright 600 to 800. A Bechstein grand from 1924, estimate 1500 to 2000. An August Forster upright from 1988, 800 to 1200. Steinway grand from 1898, 7 to 9000. That's a slightly older Steinway. Yamaha grand from 1964, 3 to 5000. Bechstein grand from 1900, 3 to 5000. Yamaha upright 1989, 2 to 2500. Bechstein from 1908, estimates 700 to 900. Steinway upright from 1884, 700 to 900. Bechstein grand from circa 1921, 1000 to 1500. Here's an interesting one here. Here's a Baker Harris of London, circa 1765. A spinet or a spinet in a plain mahogany case with raised on turned baluster legs, united by moulded stretchers, walnut and boxwood strung fascia bearing the inscription Baker Harris Landini Facit 1765, 4 to 6000. So an interesting looking item here of the historical keyboard variety. I thought when I looked at this the first time the estimate was a bit lower than that, but good to see kind of a more respectable estimate on a historical keyboard. To those of you that are interested in historic kind of keyboards, harpsichords, etc., you would have noticed that in one of the latest Gardner Hallgate sales, the Ruckers harpsichord that had actually been modified and recased went for £180,000, which is about 210 or 14 in total when you put on the fees, so really substantial. I'm not sure if that was an auction record for a harpsichord or not, but it was certainly substantial, so that was definitely very interesting and illuminating indeed. So then we have a Bechstein upright 1996, 4 to 6000. Bechstein upright again 1925, 800 to 1200. Steinway grand from 1883, 6 to 8000. A Bluthner from 1905, 1500 to 2000. A Kawai from 2000, a grand 8000 to 12000. Yamaha upright 1971, 1500 to 2000. A Petrov grand from 1996, 4 to 6000. Steinway upright from 1963, 5 to 7,000. A Bluthner Grand from 1920, 800 to 1200. Steinway upright from 1929, 2.5 to 3,000. Yamaha Grand from 1980, 4 to 6,000. A Schimmel upright from 1985, 1200 to 1800. Steinway Grand from circa 1893, 4 to 6,000. Essex upright from 2008, 1200 to 1800. Fazioli here from 1990. The estimate is 20 to 30,000. I think I talked about this the first time I was trying to do this particular auction, just to say that at least a while ago Fazioli were extremely highly regarded. I'm not sure what the situation is at all. I think we've seen one before in the piano auctions and I said a similar kind of thing, but so if anyone's watching this video, if you are a pianist or a collector of pianos, if you want to tell me if Fazioli are still quite popular, that would be interesting. Yamaha upright from 1985, 1200 to 1800. Steinway Grand from 1901, 10 to 15,000 there. Wellmar upright 1988, 800 to 1200. Bechstein London 1930s, estimate 2 to 4,000. Here's another interesting one. Here's an Edelweiss from 2012, 6 to 8,000. It's like an art piano. Definitely a curious one here. Let's have a look at some of the pictures. Always pretty interesting, these piano auctions, I have to say, and they do it like very well in my opinion, and I've yet to find another auction house which sells so many historical and interesting pianos. So Ritter upright from 2016, 800 to 1200. Petrov upright from 2002, 1500 to 2000. Steinway Grand from 1894, 4 to 6,000. Scheidemeier Grand from 1975, estimate of 1,000 to 1,500. Here is a very interesting item here. It's an Erard grand piano. In a very fancy case, estimate is 10 to 15,000. Case painted in the Venice Martin style, green lacquered. Painted panels depicting cherubs, classical garden scenes and rural landscapes, raised on carved giltwood jewel-turned and fluted legs united by shaped stretchers. So this is really quite a substantial instrument. I'm not quite sure who would have the decor to kind of have this in their kind of house or studio, etc., but definitely a very elaborate and interesting piano for sure. So it's good to see that. Lots of pictures there as well. And up to a Yamaha upright 1968, 12 to 1,500 estimate. Bechstein Grand from 1882, 6 to 8,000. Steinway upright 1914, 1,200 to 1,800. Yamaha Grand 2011, 3.5 to 4.5. Fukuyama upright from 1960s, 800 to 1,000. Steinway Grand from 1891, 8 to 10,000 is the estimate. Zimmermann Grand from 1980, estimate 1,000 to 1,500. Petrov upright from 1996, 1,200 to 1,800. Kawai Grand from 2011, 4 to 6,000. Bechstein upright from 1891, 5 to 7,000. Yamaha upright from 1980, 1,500 to 2,000. A Baldwin Grand from 1998, 3 to 5,000. Steinway upright from 1889, 1,000 to 1,500. Woodchester upright from 1990, 6 to 800. Bosendorfer Grand from 1913, 4 to 6,000. Schimmel upright from 2019, 3 to 5. Bechstein Grand from 1978, 7 to 9. Yamaha upright from 2011, 1,200 to 1,800. Yamaha Grand from 1981, 5 to 7,000. Bosendorfer upright from 2016, 20 to 25,000 here. So this is kind of a higher level model 130 kind of upright. So this is of a higher level than some of the other ones that we've seen. So good to see a kind of higher level upright as well. Kawai upright 1964, 1,400 to 1,800. Yamaha Grand from 1994, 4 to 6,000. Yamaha 1983, 2 to 2,500 upright. Bluthner Grand from 1932, 2 to 3,000. Bechstein Grand from 2007, Bechstein upright from 2007, 5 to 7,000. Bosendorfer Grand from 1921, 6 to 8,000. A Weber upright from 1989, 3 to 500. Steinway Grand from 1927, 18 to 22,000. An Elysian upright from 1984, 5 to 700. Schimmel that's been withdrawn. A Kawai upright from 1986, 1,000 to 1,500. Weber Grand, 3 to 3,500 there, and we've somehow gone on to a different one here. A Yamaha upright from 1993, 6 to 800. Yamaha kind of, I think that's a kind of half grand kind of type thing. Avant-garde digital grand piano, there you go. 2014, estimates 1,500 to 2,000. I thought that looked a little bit different to what we usually see. Bosendorfer Grand from 1974, 20 to 30,000. That's another fairly serious instrument there. You can see a few more pictures. It's like full size or fairly large grand there. It's very good. It's a 9 foot, 9'6" one, so it's a pretty large one. Apollo upright, 1,000 to 1,500. Steinway Grand from 1926, 6 to 8,000. A Kemble upright from 2006, 1,500 to 2,000. A Bechstein Grand from 1875, 1,500 to 2,000. Oh wow! The Bullerswood Broadwood by John Broadwood, circa 1893, 60 to 80,000. This really is something. Look at the marquetry work on that. Wow, that is something else. An important 8 foot 7 inch medium concert grand piano, after design by Burne Jones. The inlaid rosewood and satinwood case decorated with trailing foliate and bird ornament and raised on dual square tapered legs united by stretchers. The case by Morris & Co, designed by George Jack, together with a matching stool. Provenance. This instrument was commissioned in 1892 by Mr. James Sanderson, a Scotsman who made his fortune as a sheep farmer in Australia. He built an impressive house, Bullerswood, in Chislehurst, Kent, in the arts and crafts style designed by the architect Ernest Newton. He employed Morris & Co to decorate the interior. This was the last commission William Morris was involved in. Morris had earlier designed a carpet for Bullerswood in 1887, now held by the Victoria and Albert Museum. The same designs of decoration are reflected in the piano which stood upon it. The Broadwood record showed that the piano was finished on the 3rd of March 1892 and delivered to the Morris & Co workshop 24th of March 1892. It was returned 2nd of September 1892 and delivered to Bullerswood 14th of August 1893. Exhibited in Manchester, Victoria and Albert, sold at Sotheby's in the 1970s, in some literature as well. So wow, this is definitely an interesting one for sure. This has got to be one for the thumbnail. What an incredible Broadwood, absolutely beautiful case, wonderful. So this is why I like to look at all of these different auctions. You really see some incredible workmanship. That's beautiful, so that's very good, made me happy. So a Kawai upright from 1985, 1,000 to 1,500. A Bechstein Grand from 1898, 1,000 to 1,500. Yamaha upright from 1963, 1,500 to 2,000. A Bluthner Grand from 1904, 1,000 to 1,500. A Sailor or Celia upright from 2004, 4 to 6,000. Yamaha Grand from 1975, 2.5 to 3.5. Steinway, that's been withdrawn. A Kawai upright from 1960, 1,000 to 1,500. Bluthner Grand from 1935, 2 to 3,000. A Steinway upright from 1929, 18 to 22,000 there. A Brother upright, estimates 800 to 1,200. Bluthner Grand from 1963, 5 to 7. Yamaha Grand from 2008, 8 to 12,000. A Bosendorfer Grand from 1920s, estimates 5 to 7. Steinway upright from 1936, 4 to 6. Steinway from 1902, estimates 12 to 18,000. No images on that, so that's a shame. An Elysian Grand from 1,000 to 1,500. Hoffman and Schultz 2007, upright 1,500 to 2,000. An Offenbach Grand from 1995, 1,500 to 2,000. Steinway Grand from 1989, 35 to 45,000. This is another kind of large, kind of 9-foot Model D piano. So it's a fairly, we get a picture of a gentleman here as well. So it's another kind of high level concert grand piano there. I'm sure of you, those of you that are pianists, kind of understand what kind of piano that is. And here's a Cruiseback upright, estimate 800 to 1,200. A Bluthner Grand from 1906, 1,000 to 1,500. Yamaha upright from 2010, 2 to 2.5. Kawai Grand from 1974, 2.5 to 3.5. Steinway upright from 1882, 800 to 1,200. Yamaha Grand from 2015 at 18,000 to 22,000. A Beckstein from 1904, a Grand 3,000 to 5,000. Steinway Grand from 1921, 6 to 8,000. Bluthner Grand from 1897, 800 to 1,200. This is another interesting one. Strohmenger from the 1930s, 10 to 15,000. Art Deco semi-elliptical grand piano in satin birch case supported on a triple concaved base with a matching stool. So this is a really interesting auction. There's some crazy pianos. That is pretty cool, actually, I have to say. That is really cool. If I had some kind of glass fronted architectural house or something, I think I would definitely have something like that for sure. Very interesting. Yamaha upright from 1974, 1,500 to 2,000. A Beckstein Grand from 1900, 1,000 to 1,500. Yamaha upright from 1998, 2,000 to 3,000. A Elysian Grand from 2005, 1,500 to 2,000. Steinway upright from 1887, 1,000 to 1,500. A Beckstein Grand from 1890, 1,000 to 1,500. A Rogers Grand from 1929, 500 to 800. A Denman upright from 1980, 400 to 600. A Bluthner Grand from 1889, 2 to 3,000. Beckstein Grand from 2002, 12,000 to 15,000. Yamaha upright from 1979, 700 to 900. Gottschalk Steinweg from 1923, a grand piano, 3 to 5,000. A Baldwin upright from 1984, 2 to 300. Beckstein Grand from 1912, estimates 1,500 to 2,000. Yamaha Grand from 1998, 5 to 7,000. A Yamaha Grand from 1981, 5 to 7,000. A Steingraber upright from 1990, estimated 12 to 16,000. Bluthner Grand from 1923, estimate 1,000 to 1,500. A Kemble upright from 1999, estimate 1,200 to 1,400. And a Yamaha Grand from 2019, estimate 15 to 20,000. So there you go, there you have it. We just blitzed through that really, but it's a very interesting auction. A few of these things, I think the Art Deco piano, this Broadwood, absolutely amazing. I think there's another few kind of interesting keyboards here. This Erard, amazing. The Edelweiss, very interesting things. The Spinett as well, that was a very good one. The Baker Harris, so some pretty cool stuff. So if you're interested in pianos and keyboards, I definitely think look at this catalogue and see what you think. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, take it easy. Ciao. Many thanks for tuning in to the Musical Instrument Investigator. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, and watch out for the next video coming soon.